Hi, my name is Olivier Girardot. I'm a music composer and a sound designer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created my werewolf sound effect. I recently posted 2 videos where I showcased my werewolf transformation sound effects, and they were really successful. So I decided to make this video to show you in details how I created these sound effects. Today I'm going to focus on the female werewolf transformation sound effects. Let's go! For this, I'm using my old Acid Pro DAW, which was once produced by Sony and now developed by Magix. But nowadays I mostly work with Ableton Live. Here is my werewolf transformation work session. First of all, let's go through the organization of this project. I divided it in several sections in the timeline, and I sorted the sounds I used in different categories. A good tip is try to be as organized as possible when you work on sound effects. Trust me, you won't regret it. So here on the left, I have my list of sounds separated in different categories. The background atmospheres, and then there's what I called the voice transformation, which is the most central part, but we're going to see that later. Then we have transformation elements, which are basically all the sounds related to the transformation, like the bones expanding, clothes being ripped off, and so on. And finally, we have footsteps, which I only used at the end. Now let's focus on the timeline, which is divided in 4 sections. We have the first symptoms, which is before any actual transformation takes place, but the female character starts feeling weird things in her body. Then we have the part where the transformation begins. Then there's what I called voice alteration, which is actually the transformation starting, which is strongly reflected with changes in the voice. It gets deeper and changes into animal growls. And then we have the final stage of the transformation. Let's go through sounds in details. The background is basically some wind and faraway thunder strikes to create a kind of classical full moon scary atmosphere that you find in traditional werewolf horror movies. Then we have the voice. This is the most crucial part of this sound effect. It's the voice that will be telling the story, while everything else will be built around the voice to support it. For the female werewolf that we are studying here, I recorded my wife and she did a great job since she is not at all a voice actress. I used my own voice for the male version. The first steps are breathing sounds to illustrate the first symptoms of the transformation, which I imagined would be very strange and uncomfortable feelings. Then the real pain starts to kick in and the screaming starts. After that, some monster sounds that I have created come into play. Her voice gets deeper and she sounds more and more like an animal. For that, I used a very cool software called Dehumanizer, for which I already dedicated a video. You'll find the link in the description below. I created 3 different kinds of effects for the voice. One I called Troll, that I use for the intermediate part of the transformation. And then there is what I called the demon scream, which I should actually have called the werewolf cry or something like that. Anyway, this is the part when the transformation is completing itself and the woman becomes a beast. In the conclusion parts, I added another voice effect that I called Big Stone Monster, which is actually an existing preset from the software Dehumanizer that was perfect for the final breathing and growl sounds when the beast moves away into the forest. As you may see, I blended the different voices together and played with some pitching and crossfading to create the illusion of the transformation. Let's go through the transformation sounds. These are sounds that basically illustrate the bones expanding in the body, clothes being ripped off, and hair growing all over her body. For that, I used actual old clothes that I ripped myself. Then I used a large rope that I twisted wearing plastic gloves, which creates some pretty cool strain and cracking sounds. Here are some recordings I did of branches breaking, wood cracking, or footsteps on leafy surface. I also used some old recordings of mine of ice cracking. It's really useful to record whatever you can, whenever you can, because it might turn out to be handy one day. It's the case with these ice cracking sounds. And for the final touch, I used this tree falling sound effect that I had also created previously and that I used in some of my natural disasters sound effects. And finally, we have some footsteps that I integrated in the end to illustrate the werewolf taking off into the woods, maybe looking for its first victim. Let's listen to the full sound effect again. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please use the comment section below. And also subscribe to my newsletter at ogsoundeffects.com to get loads of free sound effects. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.